The Kansas City Chiefs making history, winning their first Super Bowl in 50 years. Other top moments, though, brought to you by the ads, including the viral baby nut commercial by Planters. And joining us is the man behind that ad and many others last night, Gary Vaynerchuk, founder of Vayner Media, or Gary V, as your social media following knows you as. How do you define success the day after the Super Bowl and the three ads that you guys were behind?
You don't. This is strictly about business. This is probably the most fun I'm going to have talking about it because we're in a business show and business environment. You know, I could care less about the Twitter mentions or what USA Today says or what the industry magazines say was good, bad, or indifferent. Not because of audacity, but because those are opinions. The reality is, if you're spending that kind of money, you're trying to build your business. And so on the day after, not much. It's more of a 3 to 6 month wait to see how the residual top of the funnel brand awareness becomes real.
That's interesting because, so I would think that the more viral buzz you get, whether it's good or bad, and I think Washington Post put that one in one of the worst ads just because, I don't know, some people thought it was inappropriate. I don't know. But that's good news ultimately for the bottom line because when people are talking about it, they'll buy it.
You know, I'm not necessarily the biggest buyer of like all publicity is good publicity. Like if somebody actually thought it was bad, that may lead to sentiment of them not considering the brand. On the flip side, whoever wrote the Washington Post piece, their human opinion is completely irrelevant to the P&L.
In terms of saying you're not that bothered about people's opinions on Twitter, presumably Twitter and other social media platforms have transformed the bang you get for your buck of buying what is an incredibly expensive slot on the Super Bowl, yes, because these 30-second curated videos, yes, get seen by way more eyeballs for way longer than just one moment, yes, compared to a decade ago.
Yes.
So how much difference does that make it? Does it make it, in fact, quite a cheap slot, relatively speaking?
Oh, you know, it's funny. I'm the social media digital guy, and I continue and will always say, until things change in America, that the Super Bowl ad is grossly underpriced at $5.2 million a slot because of the dynamics that you're referring to. And even without the internet, it's the one time America sits down and wants to actually watch a commercial. Every other moment of our lives, we hate them.
And my follow-up question on that then is there still a lot of growth to come in the social media advertising space when you consider the amount of energy, expertise, creativity, and money that goes into creating these TV slots versus your average ad you see on social media, which is a bit more basic? Does that suggest that social media advertising has much more influence and power to grow into?
Yes.
Well, when do we get to that point? When do you spend your $5.2 million to create first and foremost for Twitter as opposed first and foremost for Super Bowl?
Well, Kraft Heinz did with us and our strategy because the Mr. Peanut spot that would have normally gone in the Super Bowl actually ran on Twitter first, completely took over the conversation and set us up for the ad we actually ran. We got maybe more awareness on the first execution in digital than we did on the TV spot. Yes.
This is when you killed Mr. Peanut.
That's correct.
Why did you kill Mr. Peanut?
Because I'm on the show right now talking about it because you have to do things to break patterns. And we also had a plan of creating another character that we thought we could double up on the equity.
Yeah, the irony of it is people hadn't really thought much about Mr. Peanut. So you've revived Mr. Peanut by kind of killing him.
Go figure.
Yeah.